Hey guys, today I am recording for you the health lesson so that you can do it on your own in the afternoon. And what we're going to talk about today is secondhand smoke and e-cigarettes. If we were together, I'd be like having you raise your hand. Anybody know what secondhand smoke is? Anybody ever heard of an e-cigarette? But I know we're not together, so I'll just have to explain it for you. Maybe you can holler it out to the video. Secondhand smoke. That's when you're around somebody else who is smoking and you're not smoking, of course, you're a kid, but the smoke is where you're breathing. And so you're breathing in that secondhand smoke. Same with an e-cigarette. If you guys don't know what an e-cigarette is, it's the E stands for electronic. So it's like a little pen. It looks like a pen to me when I see them. And people smoke that and the aerosol comes out like a vapor into the air. So those are the two things we're going to be discussing here. So exposure to secondhand smoke or an e-cigarette aerosol, there's problems getting exposed to it. It can increase your coughing and wheezing. It can give you breathing problems. It can give you asthma symptoms. It can increase the likelihood of getting bronchitis, which is an inflammation of the membrane in the airway, or pneumonia, or make it difficult for someone to recover from these illnesses. It can give you eye and ear problems and irritations. The chances of getting lung cancer increase, and the chances of lower scores on achievement and IQ tests increases too. Overall, there's a lot of issues that can come from being around somebody who is smoking a cigarette or smoking an e-cigarette. Okay, and you're going to want to try to make sure that you stay out of the area as much as possible when somebody is smoking. So many people don't like to even be around secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosols. And here's some of the reasons. It can smell bad. The scent of smoke will stay on clothes and in your hair, and people don't like that. It can cause a burning sensation in the eyes, nose, and throat, and it can make you sneeze or cough. Sometimes can even give you a headache. So make sure that when somebody in your family or somebody, your friends, parents, or something like that, if they're smoking, you might want to make sure to move to another area until they're finished, or ask if you can open a window if you're in the car. All right, so we're going to do a little scenario, what to do. Like I was just saying, to open a window, what to do when somebody's smoking and you're around that, okay? First, here's scenario number 1. You're watching television at home and an adult neighbor comes into the room, sits down to watch television, and lights up a cigarette. What do? Okay? You should always be respectful to your elders. And if they smoke, that is their decision to smoke. They are an adult, okay? So we have to be respectful. You can't say, oh my word, what are you doing smoking in front of me? That would be disrespectful. Instead, you could just get up and leave the room. And don't make a big scene about it. Just get up and leave the room. If you have a really good relationship with the person, you could maybe say, hey, do you mind smoking outside? But I wouldn't do that with just any adult. It'd have to be somebody you have a very good relationship with. All right. Like my kids and their grandmother. I can remember them when they got old enough asking her if she would go smoke out on the back porch when she would come over. And I would do the same thing. And we only really had to ask her like once or twice. And after that, she realized, oh, they don't like the smell of this. And she went out on the porch. But be respectful. Maybe even don't say anything at that moment, but go and talk to your parents afterward and say, hey, what should I do, Mom and Dad? Okay. Scenario number 2. You're working with your older brother in the garage to repair his bike. One of his friends comes over and walks into the garage. He is using an e-cigarette. What do? Again, this is kind of like the other one. You could just leave the room. If your older brother's in his garage repairing his bike and his friends come over, maybe they want some time alone anyway. And you can just say, hey, see you guys, and get out of the way. This particular one is a garage. Maybe you open the garage doors and it airs out so much that it's fine. Okay, so a couple of options. Again, though, be respectful. Number 3, you are at a park, sitting on a bench with a couple of friends from school. Your babysitter is nearby in another part of the park playing with your younger brother or sister. An older kid sits down on the bench near you and lights up a cigarette. This one's pretty obvious. It doesn't sound like you even know the older kid. Just get up and leave. Go back over to where the babysitter and your siblings are at. Just get out of the area instead of sitting there breathing it. Again, be respectful. Just get up and walk away like you were planning on walking away anyways, okay? All right, let's look at another set of scenarios. You're riding the backseat of a car with someone smoking in the front. The walk away is not going to really work on this one, is it? You're in the back seat of a car. So you could try opening your windows or politely saying, that's really bothering my eyes. Would it be okay if you didn't smoke while we were in the car? Or if it's not somebody you have a relationship with, you might have to try the windows open and then later on ask a parent for the next time if they could ask that person to not smoke while you guys are in a car. Okay? Number 2, you enter the kitchen and find your mom and older brother talking about your dad smoking. They're trying to figure out how to avoid the hazards of secondhand smoke. Join the conversation and share your thoughts, opinions, and any options you think should be considered. So the scenario is they're already talking about how to avoid the smoke from dad, and you're old enough. Join in, be respectful, and say, yeah, that's been bothering me too. How can we handle this? Sometimes the person who is smoking doesn't even realize that somebody else is being bothered by it. So you can just maybe have mom, or if it's the other way around, dad or another guardian, have them talk to the other adult and let them know that it's bothering the other people in the house. Okay? All right, that's enough of those. So I want you guys just to be thinking about is to try to stay away from secondhand smoke and e-cigarette aerosol. Always be respectful, though, to the people who are doing it. If you have a good relationship, you might be able to chat with them about it. But if you don't, just walk away or see if an adult will talk to that person for the next time if you're in a car or something like that. All right, guys. See you next time.